Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. Guys, in this video, I will be discussing the Cognizant Gen Z interview experience. Guys, this interview happened recently only on 11th September 2021 and this interview experience is our 2022 batch candidate. Guys, this is the first interview experience that I am covering for 2022 batch candidates, but the Gen Z interview experience have already been covered on my channel. You can watch all the Gen Z interview experience, whether it is of 2021 batch or it is of 2022 batch candidate. You can watch all these interview experience under this playlist, that is Cognizant Gen Z interview experiences 2021 and 2022. So these 5 interview experience have already been posted and these are for the 2021 batches. So if you have your Gen Z interview experience in Gen Z interview in coming days, you can take reference from these videos as well. And this video is the first Gen Z interview experience for the 2022 batch. So guys, if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe it as well as join my Telegram groups also. All the links of the Telegram groups are given in the description box. Make sure to join them because I post regular updates on different companies which are hiring as well as the interviews of those companies. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting the video, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so the date of the interview was 11th September 2021. The branch of my friend is CSC. The duration of the interview was 40 minutes. Guys, make sure to watch this video till the end because in this particular interview, questions from different subjects has been asked. Questions from C language, questions from Python, questions from project, questions from OS, questions from computer networks, as well as DBMS questions has also been asked in this particular interview experience. So make sure that you do not miss any of these questions and are watching this video till the end. Okay, so first question, as you all know, will be introduce yourself. You have to introduce yourself to the interviewer and you have to tell all the skills in which you are comfortable in. You have to tell your extracurricular activities, your hobbies, your projects, your internships, and many more things you have done and you are confident in. So only mention those things in which you are confident in answering and do not falsify yourself in this particular question. Okay, now the next question was explain your final year projects. So guys, if you are following my videos, in every interview experience, final year project have been asked. So make sure to prepare your project very well. You have to explain your project to the interviewer. You have to explain what your project does, what are the challenges you faced in the projects, what are the technology stacks that have been used, how you overcome those challenges, what is the future scope of that particular project, and what was your role in this particular project. So you have to prepare all these things for all those projects we have mentioned in the resume. So make sure to prepare all the projects very well. Okay, now next question was a simple question, that is difference between array and linked list. Again, if you are following my interview experiences, in every third or fourth interview experience this question have been asked, that is the difference between array and linked list. So first of all, the main difference between array and linked list is that an array is a collection of elements of a similar data type. Again, this is of a similar data type. A linked list is a collection of objects known as nodes, where node consists of two parts, data and address. So you can say that in array at a particular place only one data is present, but in linked list at a particular place a node is present, and that particular node contains two values, that is a data as well as the address node. Okay, now the main difference is that the array elements are stored in the contiguous memory location, that is one after the other, but in linked list the elements are stored in non-contiguous manner, that is at first node one data will be present and at the second node second data will be present. So these two nodes will not be at contiguous manner, and the address of second node will be present in the second address part of the first node. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Okay, next question is why you chose Python. So again, this question can be asked that why you chose C++, why you chose Java, why you chose Python. So in this you can say that Python has very good built-in libraries, their syntax is very easy to write, short lines of code is there. Now there are Python applications are large, like in machine learning there are so much good libraries like sklearn, OpenCV. So these are all the libraries which are present in Python, and these are very realistic as well as has practical applications also. So you can say like this in an interview. Okay, next was tell me about tuple, list and dictionary, and which of these is mutable. Now what is mutable? Mutable are those data structures in which we can change the value after we have added them. So here list and dictionaries are mutable, but tuples are immutable. Okay, so let's see what a list. So list is just like vector, or you can say array list in Java, but in a list at a particular time different type of elements can also be stored. Like if the list is of 5 size, so it is possible that 2 elements are integer, 2 elements are string, and 2 elements are boolean. So this is possible in list, whereas in tuple this is not possible. Tuples are immutable because once we have added the elements, now tuple can contain Tuple can contain certain data, but once we have added the data in the tuple, we cannot change the data, we cannot insert the elements, we cannot delete the elements, we cannot change a particular element in the tuple. So this is the major difference between list and tuple. Now what a dictionary we all know are basically a hash map. They are a key value pair. They store data in the form of key value pair. So therefore finding the data inside a dictionary is of O1 complexity. We just want to know key, and we can find the values corresponding to that key. So this is what a dictionary is. And out of these three, list and dictionaries are mutable and tuples are immutable. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now next question is, write a code to print prime number in a given range. So guys, this question has been asked very commonly in Cognizant. If I say to print prime numbers in given range, so this has been asked in different interviews, like Gen Z Next also it has asked, Gen Z Elevate also this type of question is asked, and now in Gen Z also this same coding question is asked. So prepare this question very religiously. You need to write the code, you need to understand the pseudocode behind this particular question. So make sure to prepare this question very well. Okay, now what are tokens in Python? So guys, you can see you can say that like we have a large sentence, like this is a large sentence. Now what we'll do, we will just split this particular sentence on the basis of a delimiter. Here we can take delimiter as anything. We can take a comma, we can take a space, full stop, so we can take anything. But now let's suppose this is our sentence, and now we have to break the sentence on the basis of a delimiter of space. So we have to break the sentence in space. So now this particular entire sentence will be converted into list of words, that is what, then are, then tokens in then Python. So this is what you can say are tokens. So the smallest object obtained is known as the tokens. So this is what will be a token, R will be a token, this tokens will be a token. So this is this is also known as tokenization, or you can explain the interview like this also. What are tokens? Okay. Now next is explain pointers in C. So the pointers in C is a variable that stores the address of another variable. A pointer can be incremented, decremented. That is incremented, it means that like we are incrementing a pointer. So if a value is 1, so it will not become 2. Here pointer incremental and decremental means that it will point to the next memory location, and if you will decrement it, it will point to the previous memory location. So now let's see what a pointer is. Let's see. Let's just suppose we have a variable. So int a is equivalent to 20. Now this is a variable in which a value is stored. Now what is a pointer? In pointer, the address of another variable is stored. So let's say int star p, and p will, now in this p it is a pointer, and in this address of a will be stored, address of another variable is stored. This p is a pointer here, and this is how we can declare a pointer in C. So I hope this question is clear to you. Now next is, what is malloc? So guys, again malloc, calloc, these type of functions can be asked from you in an interview. Now the malloc, or you can say the full form of malloc is memory allocation. Memory allocation method in C is used to dynamically allocate a single large block of memory with a specified size. So what does malloc do? It just allocates a large block of memory with a specified size. Okay, now it doesn't initialize memory at execution time, so that it initializes each block with a default garbage value initially. Like let's suppose we have an array. So if we have an array of size 10, so by default, if we consider, it will have garbage values. So similarly with malloc, it does not initialize the block of memory with certain values, but it just gives the garbage value to them initially. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now next is, what is routing and multicasting? So routing is simple, that in routing is the process of moving a packet of data from source to destination. So from one point to another. And how can routing take place? It takes place with the help of routers. And you should also know that in which layers routers are working, so you can find it on internet. So this is what a routing is, for moving a packet of data from source to destination, from one place to another. Now next was what is multicasting. Now the sender sends data to multiple receivers or nodes present in the network simultaneously. So in this, what happens in this, a single sender can send a data to many receivers. Now in multicasting, it is in one to many is also possible, and many to many communications are also possible. Now as it allows senders to send data packets to multiple receivers at once. So I, being a sender, I can send a particular data packet to multiple receivers. So this is also multicasting. And if we are 3 persons and we all of 3 persons are sending data to multiple receivers, then also it is known as multicasting. So this is what a multicasting is. Okay, next is name few routing algorithms. Again, I will try to give the link in the description box. You can visit there and see it. Okay, next is what is semaphore and fragmentation. Now this is the question from OS, and if you want to prepare OS, then this will be a common question that can be asked from you. It is a very basic question in OS, that is what is semaphore and fragmentation. Again, I will give the link in the description box. Now next is what are acid properties. Now this question is from DBMS. In DBMS I have made a separate video in which I have discussed the most important interview DBMS questions. I will give the link in the I button, so make sure to visit that video and prepare DBMS from that video. So here acid property stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability, and all these terms I have explained clearly in that video. So make sure to watch that video. And guys, initially in this video also certain Python questions were asked. Again, I have prepared a Python specific video also, important Python questions in an interview. So again, I will give the link in the description box and in the I button, so make sure to watch that video also. Now now these questions were over, and next was the project based question. Now there were certain project based questions which I am not covering in this video because they were specific to the project, but like this question, what is big data and Hadoop. So these are new age technology questions. You must know the basics of new age technologies. You can either learn basics of machine learning, big data, Hadoop, or something else. So you must know certain new age technologies. They won't go in deep, but just basic definition will be good. Okay, so I hope this question is clear to you. Now next were 3 aptitude questions. Again, these aptitude questions were asked in the Elevate interviews also, as well as in these the questions are getting asked in Gen C interviews also. So Cognizant generally asks in Gen C, they are sure that they will ask certain aptitude questions. It might depend, they will ask 1 question, 2 question, or 3 question, or instead of aptitude questions they can ask puzzle questions also. So puzzle questions are present on the Geeks for Geeks. Around 40 to 50 puzzle questions are there, so make sure to read them, because every puzzle that can be asked in an interview is given in that platform. And again, in this particular interview, these 3 aptitude questions were asked. These are generally asked for checking your presence of mind during the interview. Okay, now these were all the technical questions which were asked in the interview. Now let's see the HR questions also. Now again, these are commonly asked HR questions. Again, I have made a separate video on HR questions, that what are all the common HR questions which are asked in an interview. So here strengths and weaknesses are asked. So make sure to prepare your 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses with real life examples, like how you knew that this is your strength, and how you knew that this is your weakness, and how you are overcoming your weaknesses. Now again, next question was, how do you want to overcome your weaknesses. So this question can be asked, and again the question can be asked that how you know that this is your weakness, what was your real life experiment, or you can say experience on that particular situation that you are giving us. Now next question was, tell me something about CTS. So again, if you are giving the interview of any company, you must know certain facts or details about that company, recent news about that company. You must know at least 2 to 3 points about these things. So if you know these things, you will be good to go in the HR interviews. And last question was, any questions. So interview asked my friend whether she had any question or not. So please ask 2 to 3 questions from the interview. It shows that you are really interested in company, and you just do not want any placement, but you want that your company should be good, and you really care about your company. So you can ask that what role will be provided, on what technologies I will work on, what does the company expects from me. These all questions you can ask from the interviewer. So these were all the HR questions. Now in this video I have covered all the technical round questions as well as the HR round questions. Many questions were asked in this interview from different subjects, so I hope this particular video will help you in preparing for your interview. All the links that I am saying, that important Python questions, important DBMS question, make sure to visit these videos before moving towards the interview, because out of these videos 2 to 3 questions will definitely be repeated, and I am covering a lot of interview experiences, and I am seeing that in every video 2 to 3 questions are getting covered from the videos I have made. All the links I will give in the description box as well as in the I button, so make sure to check them. So guys, this was it for this video. Thank you for watching it.